Attention passionate Atlanta, FALCONS fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS, FANS. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, the NFL rumor mill is buzzing, and no, it's not just about the usual off-season chatter or the draft speculation. This time, it's about a potential game-changing trade that could reshape the Atlanta Falcons' secondary, and by extension, their entire defensive outlook for the foreseeable future. Let me tell you, it's a story that's gaining serious traction, with insiders suggesting that the Falcons might be on the verge of pulling off a bold move to acquire Jaylon Johnson from the Chicago Bears. Imagine the scene. The Falcons, sitting at 3-3, have been trying to find consistency on defense, especially in the secondary, which has struggled at times through the season. Their pass defense, currently ranked around 21st in the league by points allowed per pass, could definitely use a shot in the arm. Enter Johnson, an elite cornerback who's been making waves in Chicago. When you think about what Johnson brings to the table, it's impossible not to be impressed. The guy is a ball hawk, a true shutdown corner, and an all-around playmaker. He's led the Bears' secondary in coverage, earning an All-Pro nod for 2024, and he's been a key factor in their defense, especially in man coverage, where he boasts a staggering 86. 1 PFF grade this season, and a 55% win rate in man coverage. That's elite, folks. Not to mention, in 2025, he's already amassed 42 tackles, 3 interceptions, and a PFF grade of 87. 2 in just 8 games. That's consistency, that's impact, and that's exactly what the Falcons need right now. But the story isn't just about Johnson's individual talent. It's about what he could mean for Atlanta. Imagine him teaming up with A.J. Terrell, who had a solid 86. 1 PFF grade in 2025 and 3 interceptions that same year. That duo alone instantly boosts the Falcons' secondary, giving them the kind of lockdown ability that can dramatically change the game plan. And because Johnson is so versatile, he can excel in zone coverage under Coach Ulbrich, elevating the team's interception numbers and coverage efficiency. According to projections, just adding Johnson could increase their interceptions by 9 and improve coverage EPA by 18%. That's a huge leap for a defense that's been trying to find its identity this season. Now let's talk about the why behind this potential move. The Chicago Bears, in a bit of a transition period after firing Eberflus, are in need of draft capital and cap space. They're trying to rebuild their roster, especially on the offensive line, which has been quite leaky, allowing about 4.0 yards per carry, which is quite poor by NFL standards. The Bears are also facing cap issues, especially with extensions like Darnell Mooney's upcoming $25 million hit. So trading Johnson, who's scheduled to make around $16 million this year, makes sense for them. They're looking to gather draft picks and free up cap space, even if it means parting ways with a key player. From their perspective, it's a rebuild move, a way to secure future assets and focus on developing younger players in their secondary and front seven. For Atlanta, on the other hand, this trade is a no-brainer. With a cap space of about $5 million and a 3-3 record that's been full of ups and downs, they see Johnson as a true X-factor. Bringing him into their zone defense, especially under Coach Ulbrich, could be a game-changer. His presence would not only bolster their pass defense, but also create mismatches against top receivers like Evans or London, especially considering the Falcons' tendency to give up big plays at times. Johnson's ability to cover tightly and turn opportunities into turnovers aligns perfectly with what Atlanta needs to elevate their defense into the top half of the league. Think about it. Adding Johnson could potentially lead to an increase of around 14 turnovers for the Falcons, and that's in a league where turnovers often decide the outcome of games. It's about flipping the script, creating more short fields for the offense, and tightening up red zone defense, which has been a concern this season, allowing 48% of opponents. Red zone tries to turn into touchdowns. And this move isn't just about the current season. It's about positioning the Falcons strategically for the future. Adding Johnson as a cornerstone piece could set the tone for a new era of Falcons defense that's aggressive, opportunistic, and resilient. It echoes the kind of moves we saw in the 2010s when Atlanta built defenses around dynamic corners and versatile safeties, creating a legacy of tough, opportunistic football. Plus, with the Falcons, current schedule and their division rivals like the Saints or the Panthers also looking to bolster their rosters, this trade could give Atlanta a significant edge in the NFC South race. The odds of making the playoffs could shift dramatically, especially if Johnson's impact on the field translates into more wins and consistent defensive performances. Now, it's also interesting to think about how this move could influence the entire NFC playoff picture. The Falcons, with Johnson, could be seen as a dark horse contender, especially if their secondary gains the stability and playmaking ability that Johnson can provide. They could challenge the top teams like the Eagles or the 49ers more effectively, and even get some favorable matchups in the postseason. And speaking of odds, some sportsbooks have already adjusted their projections, with the Falcons' Super Bowl odds improving from plus 5,000 to around plus 2,400 after rumors of this trade surfaced. That's a significant jump, and it shows the respect that Johnson's talent commands league-wide. But let's not forget, all of this hinges on whether the trade actually happens. The Bears might be cagey, asking for a first-round pick in 2026, which is a pretty hefty price tag. For the Falcons, it's a gamble, giving up a valuable pick for a proven talent who could be the missing piece in their championship puzzle. The question is whether they're willing to make that leap now, knowing that a successful trade could lock in their defensive future for years to come, or if they'll hold back and wait for a different deal. Either way, the potential is huge, and it's setting up to be one of the most talked-about storylines ahead of the deadline. As fans, we love this kind of drama. It's about building a winning culture, about making bold moves that show the world that the Falcons are serious about competing at the highest level. Johnson's addition could be that catalyst, transforming their secondary into one of the best in the league, capable of shutting down even the most explosive offenses. And it's not just about this season. This could be a stepping stone toward sustained success, a move that echoes the franchise's ambitions of returning to glory days, but with a modern twist. So, Falcons fans, what do you think? Is this trade the right move? Do you believe Johnson can be the difference maker Atlanta needs to push into the playoffs and beyond? How do you see this affecting their division rivals and the NFC landscape overall? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because your opinion truly matters. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, analysis, and all the latest news from the Atlanta Falcons. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep this incredible Falcons community growing stronger every day.